Hey guys, it's Damien with the 260 Show. Today we're here with Michael Barney, the general manager of Sweet Cars. We're going to talk about cars, anything about cars, everything about cars, service, detailing, inventory, car market. I hope you all guys enjoy. Thanks. Hey guys, it's Damien with the 260 Show. Welcome back. Today we're here with Michael at Sweet Cars. First, we're going to do the drawing for the free hat and the shirt.
Voila.
We got eight people that actually shared it, so they get the chance of winning.
Is this for the hat or for the shirt?
This is for both. Yep.
Oh, for both.
Yep,
Okay.
you get both.
Cool. Nikki Kennedy?
Nikki Kennedy, you won both them.
Hang on. Is that what that says?
Yep. Alrighty, Nikki, you won the hat and the shirt. I'll get with you and see what size shirt you want, and thank you for sharing.
The K's looked weird.
Yeah. So, how's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. We had to reschedule or whatever because you were dying.
Yeah, so I came down with what seemingly everybody else around Fort Wayne had there for a little while. So,
Okay.
yeah, appreciate you rescheduling.
You're doing better.
Yeah, I am feeling better. I'm not totally over it, but good enough.
Yeah, that's good. So let's get into what I guess talk a little bit about yourself, a little bit, who you are, what you do, and then we'll get into like how you got started into what you're doing and all that.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm the general manager here at Sweet Cars. I've been here since, I started in September of 2011. So a little over 13 years. And when I started, I was hired as a part-time porter, which is our kind of an entry-level position in the dealership, washing cars and running errands and doing kind of an all tasks as assigned type job. It's where a lot of people in the car world, at least in the dealership world, start as a porter at some point. Yeah. So I was I was in business school at IPFW, I call it IPFW.
Right,
I have a hard time calling it Purdue Fort Wayne because it was IPFW when I was going there. But yeah, I was in business school there and then working part-time here and as a porter. And then I was one of our first full-time detailers after being the porter. And then I moved into sales. I forget what year that was. I moved into sales probably.
What year did Sweet Cars actually open?
We opened in late 2010.
Okay.
Yep. So I came on about 9 months after we opened.
Nice.
Yep. So, then eventually I became the general manager in 2017. So,
yep. What got you into, I guess, this, getting into cars or,
I got in the car business.
Yeah.
I grew up around it. So, my dad has worked in the car business his entire life. I don't think he's ever worked anywhere except for a car dealership, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
When I grew up, he was working in the dealership world, so I was around it, and he was into cars, which got me into cars. He had, or still has, a '69 Pontiac GTO convertible.
Oh, really?
That and I had some other cars while I was growing up, and we went to car shows. That was like what we did for fun on weekends and stuff. So
what
that
color?
got me in. The GTO?
Yeah.
It's a real light yellow color called Mayfair Maze. Okay. It was a Pontiac color that they had back then.
Okay.
I think Chevrolet had a similar color, but they called it something else. But yeah, it was Mayfair Maze.
That banana color, sort of.
Real light, yeah, real light yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What, I guess at the beginning of Sweet Cars, it wasn't, like this. or was it? I can't really remember.
Meaning like the type of inventory.
Yeah.
So the type of inventory was similar, but it certainly wasn't this many cars.
Right.
So right now we typically carry between what's in the showroom and what's outside. We're typically between 45 and 50 cars, and it was not that many cars when we first opened.
Right.
No, but it was a similar type of car. So I mean, the idea when we opened was, exotics, sports, and highline cars. So kind of and special interest cars, right? So, that's kind of that was the mix.
Have to like travel to Chicago or Indianapolis if somebody in town wants a exotic or something like that. We
Yes.
have it here.
Right. So kind of the idea when we opened was that Fort Wayne's kind of centrally located around all these other big towns, right? Chicago, Indianapolis, Detroit, and pretty much all of those areas had, at the time when we opened, and they still do, had dealerships like this, but Fort Wayne didn't.
Right.
So, we were the first in this area, and we gave, enthusiasts in Fort Wayne something like this to come to, where there just wasn't this type of dealership before that. So, the idea when Chuck Surak, the founder of Sweetwater, opened Sweet Cars, was to bring something to Fort Wayne that catered to car enthusiasts and just kind of overall offered a type of customer service that the car industry, used car industry, kind of isn't known for. So that's kind of what we try to do.
Especially for the guys that have these vehicles, you don't have to go to them places anymore to be able to get them serviced and stuff, because it's not like a regular, take your Ferrari to the Jiffy Lube or something.
Yeah, yeah, that would be a little bit nerve-wracking, right?
So everybody would have to take their cars to like Chicago or Indy. So it makes it more convenient.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that. So our service department can handle a lot of things with these exotic cars that other service departments in our area can't. Now, a lot of these are still within a few years old, so they still have factory warranty on them. So there are situations where the car is something like it's a warranty repair or something specialized that the dealership still has to handle. But we offer services where we can handle that for the customer. If the car, Ferrari example, like if it's something that we can't handle, and it still needs to go to the Ferrari dealership, we can handle that process for our customers. So. I mean, it having a place like this in a town certainly makes owning this type of car a little easier.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I do think that it's fair to say that in the 13 years or 14 years now, almost 15 that we've been in business, there's more of, the exotics and that kind of, there's more of this kind of car in Fort Wayne. Just because the cars themselves have become easier to own over the years. But then also having a place in our area that can help out with the ownership experience certainly is a factor, I think.
Servicing is a big, a lot of people don't know how much, like just a regular oil change or something like that on a, it's not a, $110,
No, not on even just like Mercedes S classes, right? Like, or the Audi Q7s, right? The more daily drivers, just that brand is, it takes a different approach to service rather than just like you said, going to a quick stop oil change place. So, I mean, the way we approach our service here is like a concierge type approach. I tell people, like, think of it like having your own private mechanic. A lot of big car collectors have their own private mechanic, right? And so whether your car collection is one car or 20 cars, we help you, get the right service for your car. And a key difference here, I think, is that we are car enthusiasts ourselves, catering to car enthusiasts. I mean, when you're talking to myself or one of our service and detailing advisors, you're talking to people that are car enthusiasts themselves. So we speak the language. We get we get that you're trusting us with your baby, not just a means of transportation that is it's just a car. Like, it's not just a car to us. Like, so we share that passion with our customers, and I think that's a big factor too.
And it can be a little nerve-wracking, when your car is out of your hands, usually, you're used to seeing it in your garage or whatever, and
Oh yeah. Yep.
and then when it's not there, you know, is it gonna get door dinged or you know?
Yep. Well, again, like that's where I go back to, like, we're car enthusiasts, so
Yep.
we get that, when it's not, I think about how I keep my own personal cars at my house. They're pretty well protected.
Yeah.
Almost they're babied, let's be honest. So we get that, and we treat them like that when they're in our building too.
So we were thinking about maybe doing the podcast at your place.
Yeah.
What exactly are them? They're both BMWs.
Yeah, so I'm into BMW Isettas,
Okay.
and if you ask people that know me, if you ask my wife, she would tell you I'm obsessed with them. It's probably what she would tell you.
If you're just listening to the podcast, if they're just listening, what's it actually? Describe what it looks like, I guess.
So like an egg, I guess.
Okay.
So I guess picture look it up online if you haven't seen one. BMW Isetta. Think about like a refrigerator mixed with a car. So it's the door opens on the front.
Right.
A lot of people refer to it as the Urkel car. So if any of you saw the TV show Family Matters with Steve Urkel, he drove one on there. So if I take it to events, there's always something. Oh, it's the Urkel car, So. But yeah, it's a single cylinder, 300 cc, 13 horsepower. It's a BMW motorcycle engine is what it is, with a 4-speed transmission. And I got into those because my green one, I have two of them. My green one was my grandfather's car.
Oh, really?
Yep. So he bought that car. He bought it either the year I was born or the year before. Had it restored, and like some of my earliest car memories were he would take me and my brother to school in that car, or we would take it to car shows. Yeah, no,
you don't see it.
Not very often.
Yeah.
A lot of them are stored away in collections or museums and stuff. So I don't. Truthfully, I don't get them out as much as I used to, but when I get them, it's fun to take them to shows and let kids sit in them and stuff because they.
Is it one wheel in the back?
It's actually two, but they're close together. So because they use a BMW drivetrain, or a BMW motorcycle drivetrain, there's no differential. So the rear wheels have to be super close together. So the U.S. market cars had 4 wheels, but the European ones they had 3-wheel versions in Europe. I would like to have a 3-wheel version, but I've heard they're pretty unstable. Like they get a little top heavy, a little wobbly, but they're fun.
But the back to steer, the back wheels turn, or the front ones?
No, the front wheels turn.
Okay.
Yeah, front wheel steer. It's rear wheel drive. It's chain driven, but front wheel steer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to have you take me a.
Yeah, I'll take you for a spin.
that'd be
They're fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a boat where if you go 30 miles an hour in a boat, it feels like 60. They top out at 60. I've never had mine up to 60. I had one of them up to 50 one time, and it was because I was leaving a car show to try to outrun a storm that was rolling in.
Oh, okay.
And 50 felt like 100. And so 30.
Or if it's windy,
Oh yeah, strong tailwind. Yeah, it's 35 to 40 is where they're comfortable. So I don't take them on
just a
super
cruiser.
fast. Yeah, I drive it around the neighborhood a lot. I take my daughter for rides.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so I have the green one, and then I have actually my father-in-law and I have the red and white one that we partnered on and restored completely. We found that in a barn in Waynedale back in 2017. So
Really?
it was one we actually found. It was 3 of them that were in a barn. We bought all 3 thinking we would restore them, but quickly realized how difficult and expensive that was going to be to restore all 3. So we parted with 2 of them, and then got the one that we kept restored.
Somebody put them up for sale, and then you found it, or you got a good lead on?
I chased them for a number of years. Those 3, I had heard about them. Gosh, back when I was like in high school, I heard about these cars. 3 Isettas in a barn in Waynedale, and went and tried to meet the guy. He was not really willing to show me the cars at that time.
Right.
But I kept in touch with him over the years, and would eventually every once in a while check in. Hey, interested in selling the Isettas, or can you at least show them to me? Wouldn't even show them to me. But he did tell me he had them, and he unfortunately he eventually passed away, and his wife reached out to me, and that's how we eventually ended up buying the cars.
That's good.
Yep.
Yeah. That one's clean too.
That one was fully,
Yeah.
that one was completely restored. That one we sent down to a shop appropriately named Isetas R Us down in Georgia. Shout out to them. They did a fantastic job. They're great to work with.
So they redid it all.
Yeah, so I'm a car guy, but I'm not a mechanic.
Right. Yeah. Me too.
So
yeah.
like I naively got into this restoration project thinking, I can do this myself. I took that car. I took it apart. I'll give myself that. I took it almost every nut and bolt apart myself, and then, even it's a small car, but when it's in pieces, I'm looking at it in the garage and quickly realize that putting it back together was way different than taking it apart.
Yeah, it's like putting one of them swing sets together or something. You just look at everything and you're like,
yeah. So once I had it apart, I realized, okay, I'm in over my head a bit. So we took it down to Georgia in pieces, and they finished the project for us. So, yeah.
Sweet. What high school did you go to?
I went to Homestead. Yep,
Okay.
I graduated in 2010.
Okay. I went to Leo.
I won't hold that against you.
Oh wait, yeah. Yeah.
That's where our mutual friend Jared went, right?
Yep. Yeah. He was 2 grades ahead of me.
Okay.
Yeah. Ran around a little bit with him
Yeah.
once in a while.
Yeah.
What's upcoming for Sweet Cars, or is there any? I know you guys got the new building.
Yeah.
A lot of people might not know about. It's sort of new news, sort of.
Yeah. So if anyone's familiar with Fort Wayne area, probably familiar with Westwood Lanes Bowling Alley, which is right behind us. And we bought that building about a year ago, and it's been undergoing some renovations. It had been a bowling alley since it was built. I think it was built in, I don't know, mid 60s. Yeah, 50s, maybe late 50s, early 60s. It was an older building, but it was always a bowling alley.
Right.
And it closed down in 2015. So it had been sitting unused for a while. So it's been undergoing a lot of renovations. But what we're going to be doing in there is we'll have a new photo booth in there for our inventory.
Oh, sweet.
Yep, and then we're going to be introducing dry ice cleaning. So that's kind of a new up-and-coming thing in Highline detailing
I
world.
saw that down at Graham Ray Halls a few weeks ago.
Yep.
When I went down with Dave.
Yep.
I'm hoping to get him on the podcast. Hopefully, be able to get Graham Ray Hall on. Hopefully, if you're watching.
No pressure.
This one,
No pressure,
if you're
Graham.
Watching this one. Yeah. So you're gonna sort of have like a photo booth, like he's got, maybe.
Yeah,
with
the
rotary.
photo booth we got is actually pretty cool. So right now the booth that we have we've had it for a while. It's a standalone room with a turntable, remote controlled turntable. This new one, it's called a 360 booth, and it's specifically designed for car photography. So it's a 28-foot diameter circle booth, and you pull the car in, and then the wall is on a track, and you can move the track around the car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Sweet. What else is going to be over there? Or pretty much more. Is there going to be like if you want to store your car during the winter, or?
We're not planning to have that, but the majority, at least at this point in time, we're not planning to have that. The majority of the rest of the space, other than the photo booth and the dry ice room, is going to just be kind of overflow. So right now in the back of this building that we're sitting in is a big overflow area, a 60 by 80 spot in the back of the building.
Right.
But all of that overflow will go into the new building.
Okay.
And what it will do is free up a lot of space in this building. So we'll be able to give our service and detail departments both quite a bit more space. But we just, all of that stuff that currently has a place to sit in this building will have to go over there, and it'll free up space in this building.
Or not have, customers' cars don't have to sit outside or whatever. They can be inside.
Right. It'll give us a lot more of that flexibility. And obviously, like if a car is one that just very obviously shouldn't be sitting outside, like we don't let that kind of stuff sit outside. But it'll give us more of the ability to do things like that, or inclement weather comes along and we have to get all of this inventory inside, which happens from time to time. It gives us more space to do things like that. So
that'd be nice.
I mean, truth be told, a lot of the space in that, it's a 30,000 square foot building. It's pretty big. A lot of it is kind of just being looked at as future growth space. You know,
Did
so.
we leave at least like one lane, or
No,
no?
I've been asked that a lot. No, so the building. Did you ever bowl there at all?
Nope.
I mean, it
I was
was
always over in like Georgetown.
okay. So I mean, that building was it was a '70s bowling alley. I mean, still to its core. I
Still
mean,
smell like cigarettes.
oh yeah, it was terrible. I mean, you could walk in and just see all this dust and dirt floating around in the air, and it had pink shag carpeting on the walls. On the walls, which I assume partially for sound deadening in a bowling alley, but I mean, pink shag on the walls, glow in the dark carpet on the floor.
That is awesome.
I mean, the bar room. Get this, the bar room has a support beam in the middle of it, and they had taken a tree that was once a live tree and cut it in half and wrapped it around this pole, and it had palm fronds and Christmas lights on it, and so I mean, it was a '70s
I
bowling
guess
alley.
I wish I would have went then.
Yeah, so, but the only thing that had been changed was they had already removed all of the bowling lanes and all of the wood.
Oh dang.
I didn't know this. There's apparently a huge market for bowling lane wood. I guess it's like really flat and
Rich people
dense.
want to put them in their house, or
I don't. No, I think I've heard that like people make workbenches and stuff out of them because it's really flat and really hard wood.
Yeah.
I don't know. We had tons of people reaching out going, "What'd you do with the lane wood?"
looking wood.
Yeah, I mean, but that was the one thing that had been changed about the building is by the time we bought it, they had already removed all of the bowling lanes and all the equipment. But the rest of it was still, pink drop ceiling, cigarette stained, but it was kind of a smoky pink. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We finally did get the cigarette smell out of the building.
Did you bowl there then?
Oh yeah, quite a
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, I mean, so growing up, I grew up
Right.
on the southwest side and went to Homestead, so
Yeah.
that was really the only bowling alley on this area of town. So if me and a lot of my friends, we went there quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I was never a good
It
bowler.
just slowed down over the years.
Yeah, I mean,
Because there's quite a few. There's one off Coliseum, that older one, Pro
Yeah.
Bowl.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a couple of them still around,
yeah.
but I think that probably
newer
Crazy
ones,
Pins probably
yeah,
made it
the
a little.
newer
I don't know
ones
what the
is
business
sorta,
model of
yeah.
bowling alleys looks like these days, but I'm sure
Yeah.
Crazy Pins didn't help, and so.
Yeah. So, is there any other adventures Chuck's thinking about? Any new businesses
You
coming
never
up,
know.
or-
Never know what's going to be on the radar. Yeah, you never know.
I like going to the club room.
Yeah,
I like
yeah, that's one of
I
our
like
sister
their-
companies.
Yeah, I like their food and to
Yep.
watch music. The last time I was in there, Chuck was actually playing.
Yeah, he plays in the band there quite a bit.
Yep,
Yeah,
yeah, it was pretty cool.
yeah. We were the first. We were the first sub company
Right.
of his
off
main
of
business, Sweetwater
Sweetwater.
Sound, and then after we opened, then Sweet Aviation came along, and so they do like kind of like us, but with planes,
Right,
So they do charter and then airplane and helicopter maintenance and things. And Lounge Optical, Lakeland Internet. I'm gonna forget Clyde Club Room.
Yep, Clyde and the club
Clyde,
room.
yeah, the Clyde Theater and the club room at the Clyde. The Pearl that just opened downtown. Those are all some of our sister companies.
What's the Pearl?
It's a mixed use residential and retail business or retail building that just opened up right next to the Bradley downtown.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just opened up a couple weeks ago. It's
Yeah,
a
that's
gorgeous
nice. Yeah, that's nice. That downtown's starting to look good.
building. Oh yeah, yeah.
It's fun to go down
yeah,
there.
There's tons of stuff going on. It's kind of
Yeah.
cool because we're right on the outside of it.
Yep. Yeah.
We're right on the edge of downtown.
Yeah, you
and
can sort of see.
we can see the skyline.
Yeah.
Yeah. As the sun's coming up, we
Yeah.
can see the skyline.
Yeah, this is Good Morning America in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to just start our own every Saturday morning.
Yeah, you think we'd be good at that?
Yeah. If we had a few of the other guys in the group once
Yeah.
in a while, we
That-
could just bring them on and
Yeah, you might be onto something there.
yeah, maybe even get it on like News Channel 15 or something.
I'll let you work on that.
Yeah. I was thinking we need to do like for the driving group one of these nights. We need to go like Comets game or something.
Yeah, that'd be
maybe
cool.
here soon. Be able to get like a big group of us. I know what is it? Sweet Cars or Sweetwater sponsors
I think
Comets.
Sweetwater sponsors a portion
The-
of it.
the
Yeah, I don't know
Comets,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, I know their name's on the ice.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was Sweet Cars or Sweetwater. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Put that together, Jared.
Yeah. Yeah, even though he's sort of fizzling out.
No, it's not. Yeah.
No, so on that subject, what gonna be getting another car for him here soon, or you're keeping
Boy, I'm
your
trying.
eyes, you're keeping your eyes open?
I'm trying.
Or is he just gonna drive the inventory?
No, I think we could talk him into something.
Yeah,
I've been trying to tempt him with that BMW M3 that we just got.
really.
Yeah, but we'll see. See what we can tempt him with.
Yeah, that.
Why don't you
whole-
sell him your You have your Corvette for
I
sale.
know, but he doesn't like. Every time I see him, he doesn't like. He says that's why you don't touch stuff. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, it's had its. Just you gotta work the bugs out of things when you totally redo a
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
The tune wasn't right, and then that one time we went down to the Dragon, the transmission got warm a few times, but
Modified
so I
cars.
just- yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
key turner. I like to be able to just get in the
Yeah,
car and go.
I'm selling it. Well, I sold both of them. I sold the other one a few months ago, but I'm gonna try to. I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy a dump truck here soon and try to start my own.
Oh, cool.
Go on my own,
Okay.
and we'll see how that goes. And then maybe later on down the road, be able to have a fun car again. But
Buy the truck that'll make you money instead of buying something that makes you spend it, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's
But we're all guilty of that.
yeah, it's time, I think. So instead of working for somebody, and
Cool.
I'm gonna try.
Good luck with it. I wish you luck
I'm gonna
with it,
try,
man.
man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just Fort Wayne is just blowing up.
Yeah.
There's just like so much construction. It's endless need for that kind of stuff. So
Absolutely. It probably always will be.
yeah.
Yeah.
So for a second, I thought that said swinger.
It does.
Oh, it does. The glare off the.
Yeah. It's
The
a swinger
swinger
edition
mobile.
Scat Pack. Yeah.
What? There's a different supercharger or something on there, or they just call it that?
It's like a special edition, like an homage to something that they did back in the 60s, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're all right.
Might want to edit that one out, too. We're talking about the swingers. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll talk about your maintenance garage and what all do you offer, and like what kind of cars, like what's the lowest that you guys work on to like the high end.
So that's one thing that is kind of a common misconception is we work on pretty much all makes and models,
Right.
no matter where you bought the car. So I mean, on any day, you'll walk into our service department or detail department, and you'll see a Ferrari sitting next to an SUV or a minivan. Mm-hmm. So we work on pretty much anything you can. With boats, we've done a lot of like on the detail side. We do a lot of like ceramic coatings and things on boats. Excuse me. But yeah, on the service and maintenance side, we can do all the routine maintenance, general services, wear items, brakes, tires, all that stuff on pretty much any make or model. And again, no matter where the car was purchased, whether it was purchased here or not. And then on the detail side, so we do anything from standard detailing, like your standard interior, exterior detailing.
Wash and wax. Or...
Yep, stuff like that. And then up to paint corrections, ceramic coatings, and paint protection film. So, and those services, again, you'll walk into that shop and you'll see a high-end exotic or, a GMC
Tahoe
Sierra
or
Chevy Tahoe, stuff like that. I mean, it's really a wide range of cars that you see in the shop. So it's
Nothing wrong with everybody wanting to take care of their stuff,
No, absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, look at, like I go back to like some of the newer trucks and SUVs and stuff.
Right.
I mean, look at what those cost these days. You know, right now, I
Yeah.
mean, you can spend easily six figures on your daily driver. So it's worth protecting. So
Yeah.
we do a lot of our protection packages, ceramic coatings and paint protection film.
The
on
PPF
daily-
really helps on
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
rocks or any of that kind of stuff. It will save the paint.
It's a significant investment.
What
that
Jared
you're making on
Jared
the
didn't
car.
he got the Camaro wrapped or something, and then
We
what
wrapped the whole
happened?
car.
Something happened in the garage, or what happened to? Do you remember that?
We PPF'd the whole car, and yes, it got bumped into in the garage, and the PPF kept
Saved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In some situations, it's not a bulletproof shield,
Right.
right? I mean, you take a big
Yeah.
hit, it'll still go through it, but it can certainly minimize. And we had a client with a Ferrari California that took it to Kroger, and a car, it parked way out. But of course, we all know if you
Yep,
park way out,
every
then
time.
there'll be a car right next to you when you come back out.
Every time.
Yep, and another car swung wide and brushed the front bumper of that California, and but it didn't go through the PPF, so we were able to pull it off.
That's awesome.
And here's a good one. I had another client, and he may be watching. Sorry, I won't mention names,
Yeah.
but we did a full car PPF on his C7 Corvette ZR1, and now I don't.
Is it red?
No, it was white,
Oh, okay.
and it's not in town anymore. He has since sold the car. but-
Okay.
We did a full car, and I don't think he was driving it. I think he let someone else drive it home from an event,
Right.
and they didn't latch the roof. And of course, the C7 ZR1 has a carbon fiber roof, and that roof went flying, but the PPF saved it. So
Really?
we stripped it off, and it didn't go through it, and luckily it didn't break on impact. But excuse me, yeah, it saved it.
Crazy.
So he's now a believer. I mean, that product, it was, when it first was introduced years ago, it's come
Right.
a long way. It was largely just hey, protect against rock chips on the front end. And, you could tell it was there, like it had a texture to it,
Right,
or yellow
yeah.
or whatever.
But now,
Yeah, I mean, now it's really like the things that you don't think of like that it can, or my daughter walks by it in the garage and drives a Hot Wheels car down the side of it, or a rake falls on it, stuff like that. So while it is, it's protection against rock chips.
and it
it's
helps
protection
with
from all that.
when you wash, like it's easy to doesn't water spot or whatever. It just runs right off.
Yeah,
and,
it's hydrophobic, so it shoots water. And then what we do a lot of times is we also ceramic coat on top of it. There's a specific ceramic coating for paint protection film, but then it gives it that extra layer of protection. So it's that's a product that we do a lot with, the paint protection film, and it has applications for cars like this or daily driver cars. We do
Right.
a ton.
Yeah, if anybody would want to come in, or have questions about it, come on in, and they'll doesn't matter what you drive.
It doesn't matter what you drive.
Right.
Chances are we've done one or done something similar.
Right.
So I mean, we've done everything from $1 million cars.
I'm sure you got a good guy back there that knows what he's doing.
Yep, we have two really good installers that work specifically on paint protection film.
Right. Yep. And then your all your goodies or whatever, if somebody wants to come in and get WeatherTechs or glass cleaner or
Yep. So the retail store over
Yeah.
there, that's kind of the best selection of that type of detail product in the area. I mean, everything that we sell over there, we've either tested or we use it regularly in our shop. So
you don't have to get on Google and read reviews or whatever. You can just come here and
come here and talk to one of our detailers.
Get something that's going to work instead of trying 5 things. And
Yep, exactly. You can come here and talk to one of our detailers that has used the product or regularly uses it in the shop, and it's a pretty wide selection of detailing product. Where, I mean, there's some stores in town, some auto parts stores. You can go to a shelf and see a handful of things, but not to this level. So we have a pretty large selection of detail products available here, products and tools and different things.
oh, you do have some tools.
Yeah, just like cleaning tools over there, like
Get
wheel
in
cleaning
between
tools,
wheels, yeah.
wash mitts, foam cannons, wash bucket kits, that kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, battery tenders, and like WeatherTech mats we have available. So yeah.
Do you guys get a bunch of traffic in here that come in and
Oh, quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, because again, it's what a lot of people are looking for is a little bit of advice, because
Right.
what product works on your Corvette may
Right.
not work on my Isetta, and or as well.
Oh, really?
Right. So I mean, it depends on the application, what you're trying to do. So you can talk to a detailer and go, which product do I need for what I'm trying to do on this car?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yours is more metal, I guess. Is it different from like metal fenders?
Oh, my car versus your car?
Yeah, like for
My Isetta versus your Corvette?
Yeah,
I don't know
like-
if there's many similarity other than they're both cars.
no, no. I mean like
Mine has one door, yours has two.
detailing wise.
Oh, yeah. Well, when you're so in that example, when
Yeah.
you're detailing a classic car, it kind of comes with a different level of care sometimes. And it's just, it's kind of the different materials. Like, what product do I need to polish the chrome bumpers on my car where you don't have, stuff like that on your Corvette. So it's just different materials and making sure you're using the right stuff. And here you
Yeah.
can get the advice on getting the right stuff for the right materials.
Yeah. And if you got to get it in for 'em or whatever, I'm sure that's not hard to do. Or,
Yeah, we're always what's on those shelves today will be very different in 6 months. There will be some similar products, but we're always testing stuff, stuff that new products that comes out.
Yeah, there's
And
always
adding stuff. Yeah,
just like that dry ice,
yeah. 4 or 5 years ago, that wasn't even a thing. So.
No, like who would have thought of using dry ice to, really get stuff clean?
It's a really cool. Have you seen some of the videos
Yeah,
and stuff on?
yeah.
It's a really cool process. It's like
Crazy.
so if anybody's not familiar with it, it's kind of like sandblasting or walnut blasting, but without the mess. So it's non-abrasive, non-chemical, and it's safe for the installer.
Yeah,
or
you
for
want
the person doing the work and safe
Yeah,
for
you
the
want
car.
to you won't want to take a sandblaster to one of these motors.
No, it would
No.
it would destroy it.
Yeah.
So and then you're also left with that mess of all the sand that you blast off. So it's designed for. There's a lot of different applications. It's for cleaning. It's for cleaning hard to reach areas that with other methods you either couldn't do it before, or you couldn't do it in a way that was safe for the car or didn't make a mess. Or you were usually using. A lot of what it's used for is cleaning undercarriages of cars.
Yep.
So I mean, you think about putting a car up on a lift and spraying it with all kinds of chemicals and water and a pressure washer, and
Right.
like the mess and the process
Yep.
that would be with dry ice. You're using the blaster and blasting it off.
Or motorcycles. I've seen
Yep, a lot
Grand
of
Ray Hall
motorcycle
down
stuff.
there that they've been doing quite a few
Yep.
motorcycles down
Yep.
there. So if anybody, when it comes, this will be the place to get your bike
Yeah,
done.
we're
'Cause-
going to be introducing it. We've bought some of the best equipment out there that's available for dry ice. And we bought a really good blaster. We built a designated room for it with a
yep.
2-post lift. We really tried to go all out and make sure we had the best setup for it. And I mean, as of today's date, I think we're probably a few weeks out from starting to do the work, and we have a list of customers that are ready to go. I mean, we already have a list of people
Oh, I'm
waiting
sure,
for the work
yeah.
to get done.
but today's November 2nd.
Right? Yeah.
So-
yeah, that's right.
So
Yep.
soon.
Yep. I'm hoping by the end of the month.
Yeah.
So.
Be able to get it in
Start
here
doing it,
before
yeah.
Christmas.
Yep. And if keep an eye out for our content on it. But again, if you're not familiar with it, like you go on YouTube
Yeah.
YouTube and type in dry ice cleaning and spend. If you're like me, you'll go down a rabbit hole and spend hours watching it because they're really cool.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
really really cool process. I keep telling we sent 2 guys down to Florida to be trained on the process that will be doing the work for us. I keep telling them I'm jealous because I'd like to be honestly the one back there doing the work. It's very satisfying work to watch it get done. But yeah, we already have some pretty cool cars lined up for projects to do that with. So we'll have some cool content coming out when we start doing the work for sure on all of our social stuff.
Yeah,
So.
be able to do maybe by the brakes and that kind of stuff. If it has a little bit of brake dust or something that can't just come off easy.
Yeah, it's
You'd
used
be
a
able
lot
to-
for like wheel wells,
Yep.
wheels, removing brake or wheel weight residue.
Yep.
Just very intricate cleaning that again
it's
that you
gentle
just couldn't do.
on-
Yeah, very gentle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. Like what it really does is it's blasting dry ice pellets, and whenever that dry ice pellet hits the surface, it sublimates, it turns to gas, but there's like a little mini explosion that happens when it happens, and whatever it hits, it like turns it to dust basically, and whatever it falls off the car. So it does that to dirt or residue or like old cosmoline or old undercoating that's falling off, and so
engine bays too. You know, sometimes it's hard to get in. You know, you got the plugs and all that kind of stuff to actually.
Right. You have to be very careful with that stuff. Electronics. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dry ice has been used for a really long time in like industrial applications, like cleaning machinery and cleaning electronics. But only in the last, I want to say 5 years, but probably realistically in the last decade or so, someone started to try using it on cars. And it's really grown quite a bit. So we'll be the first in our area, like you said, Graham's doing it on a certain scale. So we'll be the first in the Fort Wayne area doing it. It's going to be really cool. I'm excited for it.
That's awesome. So what's the car market looking like? Is it going up or down? Or...
Just like the used car market in general?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, everybody kind of remembers the crazy car prices that we saw during and after the COVID era. And a lot of that has calmed down. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of gotten back to, a more normal, pre-COVID type market conditions where, there was a period of time there where pretty much every used car was going up in value, which was great for a lot of people. I mean, we took in cars on trade that people were like, wow, I made money on my trade. And,
I just bought it a year ago.
Yeah, I just bought it a year ago and put 10,000 miles on it and made money on it when I traded it in. Yeah, so, when that was happening, I was telling folks to be, cautious. That's not the norm. You know, like it's great that it was happening. It was great for people when that was happening, but it's not the norm. So it's gotten back to normal. Cars have generally speaking come back down in value a bit, and we're seeing now a more normal rate of depreciation like we saw prior to the changes that happened during the COVID car market. So nothing drastic. I can't really say that anything's like
$10,000
crazy tanked.
less.
Anything that's like totally tanked in value, but there's less of the over MSRP type stuff going on, and there's less of the high rates of appreciation. And it's just kind of we're just kind of seeing like a more normal depreciation curve. That's honestly what you should see really.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there's always some outliers that
some cars
hold their value better. Yeah. I mean, highly optioned, rare Porsches have always held their value really well. There's always like, collector market cars that are not really subject to like the normal used car market type thing. But yeah, generally speaking, for like your standard everyday used cars, the market has normalized in the last few years.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, but there's always those ones like, the new ZR1 Corvette is coming out. I'm sure that's one that will probably trade hands for over sticker for quite some time, and a lot of the specialty Porsches still do. But there's a lot of cars that are really great value out there right now. I mean, in my opinion, the C8 Corvette is a great value. I absolutely love those cars. I mean, that car checks a lot of the same boxes that this Ferrari does behind us as far as how it drives.
I drove one last winter or whatever.
I have one for sale.
Yeah.
Do you like blue?
It's a little no.
Oh, no, I can find you a red one.
No, not red either.
Silver? Okay.
Yeah, if it was silver. Yeah.
They're great cars. So those are.
So you think you'll be getting a ZR1 in soon?
Probably not the new one.
Yeah.
Probably not anytime soon. I don't. What have they? They haven't even started building them yet. I don't think.
Yeah, they're built. They're no.
Or close to it. Usually when something like that comes out, that's a really, really high interest car. It's a really hyped up car, and justifiably so. If I had to guess, it would probably be at least a year after they're introduced before we see one in our inventory. Maybe less, but we kind of just now started getting C8 Z06s in our inventory, and they've been out for at least that long now. So Since we're an independent dealer, we're not a Chevrolet dealer.
Right.
It's usually a little while after they're introduced that we see one. So
Find one on the market, and
yeah. And it all depends on where someone might consign one with us too. So
or the Zora.
yeah,
When that comes out,
that still remains to be seen what
I
they're
know.
doing there.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will.
I'm sure somebody here in Fort Wayne will have one.
Probably. I have a few clients that have their name on a ZR1.
ZR1.
So realistically, we'll probably see one like in our PPF and detail bays pretty soon after they come out.
Somebody in the group.
Wish I could tell you that.
No. We'll have to wait until next spring to see.
Yeah, we'll see when they come. But we'll probably see one in the detail bays for PPF and ceramic coating, likely before we see one in our inventory. But eventually we'll get one. I remember back when the C7 came out. We kind of got the same question. When will you get a C7? Of course, eventually. We've had tons of them now.
Yeah.
But eventually we'll get one.
Nice. So we'll put all your links and everything so everybody can find you.
Yeah.
You guys on Instagram?
Yeah, we have an Instagram and Facebook.
That if somebody's wanting to look at like your detailing process or that kind of stuff, or
Yep, and on our website.
on your website. Okay.
Yep.
Facebook.
Yeah. Yep. Facebook, Instagram, and we have LinkedIn too.
Okay. Cool. Well, it was good talking to you today.
Yeah. Thanks for having
Glad
me.
you're feeling a little bit better.
Yeah. I think I'm mostly over it now.
Yeah. And everybody go like this video, subscribe, and thanks for all the support. And I'll try to keep on bringing these videos to you. Thanks.